spicy Jlb and also Jlb. These two Lao Dips are gonna go so well with our Wagyu. And we have two different types, the rib style that's using a flamethrower, and then also being seared is the steak. These two steaks are gonna be paired so well with amazing Lao Dips. I hope you all enjoy. Sabadi Pinong, hi fam, welcome back to Saeng's Kitchen. Today's episode is jam-packed on information on how to cook Wagyu steaks and ribs, and we're gonna pair it with two of my favorite Lao dips called Jlb and Jlb. I do want to give a shout out to Pursuit Farms for sending over their Wagyu cuts because that's what we're gonna be using in today's recipe. Pursuit Farms is a restaurateur and chef-owned small business, and they provide one of the world's most exclusive and premium Japanese Wagyu cuts. So I highly recommend checking them out. I'll add their website in the links below. Your stomach will definitely not regret it. So we do have a lot of food to cook today and to eat, so let's go ahead and get started and get cooking. Let's start by making Jlb. So go ahead and grab your mortar and pestle, and then add all the garlic pieces right in, and you want to smash that to a paste. And now grab your handful of chili peppers, add that right in, and you can smash that right into the paste with the garlic. And then your cilantro stems, add that, smash again. Now you need it to be a little bit sweet, so go ahead and add your sugar, all that fish sauce. There are dozens of fish sauce brands out there, so how do you know which fish sauce brand to pick? Well, I can tell you there's no worst or best fish sauce brand, but they're all gonna taste a bit different depending on which one you use. I've talked to many Lao cooks around the world and they like using different fish sauces for different dishes. My tip when choosing fish sauces is go ahead and grab the bottle, look at the ingredients in the fish sauce. Do you like all the ingredients? Are you allergic to any of them? Or do you not know any of them? And also look at the sodium content of it. So if you see that it is a high in sodium, you're gonna use that fish sauce sparingly. So go ahead, grab all the fish sauce bottles. You wanna squeeze some limes in there, and you wanna mix that well, and then go ahead and add some cilantro leaves right on top, and you wanna mix it well. Let's grab a bowl and pour all of this right on into the bowl. Oh, it looks so good. I just wanna dip everything in there. I'm gonna make the second dip. It's called Jlb, so grab a small bowl and add the crushed chili peppers right in there. And then the cocoa sticky rice powder, MSG, badak, fish sauce, the beef bile. This is my very special container of magic juice called bile. Now, before you say ew, I want you to have an open mind. It gets a bad rep, but it actually is a really special ingredient that magnifies a lot of different dishes in Lao cuisine. And if you know how to use it, you will love it. If you don't know how to use it, you'll probably go bleh, and we don't want that. So when you get an opportunity to try this, I highly recommend trying it from a Lao mom or a Lao dad that has expertise in extracting it, in getting it, and in eating it. You're welcome. And then you want to mix this together, and then go ahead and grab the mixture of cilantro and green onions right in there to add some freshness to your dip. And now if you want to loosen this dip up a bit because it's fairly thick, go ahead and add some water in there. All right, y'all, so we have our two dips finished. Let's put this to the side. Now we gotta work on our Wagyu rib and also Wagyu steak. We're gonna do two different methods of cooking. The word Wagyu means Japanese cow, and these cuts come from 4 different breeds of Japanese cows. Now, they're known for the intracellular fat cells because it is really well marbled, and because of all this fat content that's really well distributed, that means you're gonna have a steak that's really tender and juicy and just melts in your mouth. So every time you eat Wagyu, you're gonna have an unparalleled eating experience. Ah, so good. The first thing we're gonna do is prep our ribs, and we're gonna cook that with a sous vide. So my meat was frozen, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it out and let it sit at room temperature for about 45 minutes. And then I'm gonna pat my meat dry, make sure all that excess liquid is off. Following that, I'm gonna go ahead and salt and pepper on all sides of this rib. After I finish salting, I'm gonna go ahead and let it rest for 10 minutes so all that salt can really penetrate the meat. I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum seal this piece of rib, make sure all that air is out. Also, I'm gonna prepare my sous vide ingredient to 135 degrees Fahrenheit. So everything's set, my steak has been vacuum sealed. I'm gonna go ahead and carefully put this into my sous vide bin, and it'll be fairly warm. So once it's down into the bin, you wanna make sure that it's fully submerged. You're gonna close it and then let it sit for the next 4 hours. All right, my rib is ready. 4 hours have passed. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of the bag, pat it dry just a bit, and I'm gonna get it ready to sear. There are multiple ways to sear. I'm gonna use a flamethrower gun because I think that's fun. But if you don't have one of those, you can also just sear it on a hot grill. So make sure you go outside because this is gonna smoke up your place. Go ahead and put it on a rack. And now you wanna carefully sear the top, the sides, the bottom. Once you're happy with the sear, let's go ahead and take it back inside and start cutting it up. All right, the first thing I wanna do is cut the meat off the bone. After that, you wanna make sure when you're cutting meat, you wanna cut it across the grain so it has this really nice texture. Oh, this looks so good. Now that we finished our rib, I'm gonna show you how I like to cook a steak. So go ahead and grab your steak. It should have been sitting outside for at least 15 minutes to get it down to room temperature. The steak is about 1 inch thick. So I'm gonna first take it out of the bag and then pat it dry. And then you wanna really salt it and pepper it well. And then again, just like the rib, we're gonna let this sit for another 10 minutes for the salt to penetrate through the meat. And for this, we're also gonna go outside to cook because we don't want our fire alarms to go off. Go ahead and grab your cast iron pan. You wanna get it to a really high heat. To test this out, you want your water droplets to dance. So go ahead and sprinkle some water, and if you see it dancing, that means it's ready. So go ahead and also add some vegetable oil on the pan and make sure it's well coated. Once my pan is ready, I'm gonna carefully grab my steak and carefully put it into the pan. I'm gonna let it cook for 2.5 minutes on one side without touching it or letting it move, so be patient. After that, go ahead and flip it, and I'm gonna cook this side for 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes are done, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some crushed garlic and also some strips of lemongrass and add that right to the side where there's a lot of oil. I'm gonna just baste it for about 10 to 20 seconds to give that really nice hint of garlic and lemongrass. And now go ahead and turn off your stove, and you wanna sear the sides of the steak and make sure that also those sides are really crispy and golden. At this point, you wanna put your steak on a plate, wrap it in some tin foil, and then let it sit off to the side for 10 minutes, and so it'll become a really moist steak. With your finished steak, go ahead and cut it across the grain. You're gonna see it is really nice and pink inside, but also crispy on the outside and brown. And so at this point, my ribs are done, my steak is done. I'm hungry. I'm gonna come up really quick to show you all what this looks like with the dips and also the steaks, so hold on. All right, y'all, so here's the delicious Wagyu and some Jlb. I'm gonna dip it in. Oh, I can just see the marbling on the Wagyu. I'm so excited. That just melts in my mouth. Perfectly salted. Fish sauce just brings it to another level. This just takes me home. It reminds me of my barbecues at home with my mom and dad and siblings. We would always barbecue some steaks, get some Jlb, some Jlb, dip it, get some rice. Y'all, this is what's good. Cheers. I hope you enjoyed learning how to cook Wagyu beef and also those delicious Lao dips. Go ahead and treat your stomach to some Wagyu beef from Pursuit Farms, and also let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried cooking and eating Wagyu and even eating Jlb, and I will catch you all next time on Saeng's Kitchen. Bye.